So we begin with this flow in the oneness posture. It's always great to begin with just a grounding and aligning meditation. So your palms together in front of your chest. And here you want to connect with your body and feel the alignment of your body. And one thing I wanted to share today too about your posture is, especially when you're beginning a form or you're beginning to sit in meditation, either one, don't worry too much about the posture. If it's perfectly balanced, or if you feel completely even on your left foot or your right foot, especially at the beginning, don't bother too much about that. If you feel even comfortable with your feet a little bit apart or one toe turned out slightly, if it makes you feel comfortable and relaxed, go with what's comfortable and relaxed. And as the energy builds, you want to allow the energy in your circulation to just correct your form on its own. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So make yourself comfortable in your oneness posture. And then you can close your eyes and focus on the top of your head, your crown chakra, and imagine the top of your head is connected to the space just infinitely above and beyond your head, out into space. And pure energy comes down through the top of your head and down through your brain and down through your chest and down through your lower abdomen and through your hips and down all the way through your legs and through the soles of your feet, deep down into the earth. You feel that energy connection grounding down into the earth. And just take one breath before we begin the movement. So breathe in and out. Okay, so we'll begin the spring Qigong flow. So we'll bring our hands down to the abdomen and bend the knees a bit. Bring your hands out and then face the palms up. Reach the hands up, palms together, and lower the hands down. And then open your hands at the chest level and bend the knees. And then we practice that again. So movement first. Hands are palms down and then they flip and we straighten the knees. You can look up to the sky a bit as your hands descend. Your gaze goes to eye level and then down to the earth. Feeling through the soles of your feet. And as your knees straighten, you breathe in. And as the hands descend, you breathe out. And then complete the exhale as you bend the knees. And in the second part, our hands face each other, and we feel that knees bent, breath down into the abdomen, so our hands come apart as you inhale. And closer as you exhale. So we'll just take a few breaths, feeling the lower abdomen, feeling the chi in your palms. Okay, and then the third part, we make fists, tighten the fists, and we bring our left foot or right foot out, and we're going to sink our feet down, pull the fists up to the armpit, and then straighten the knees as we push the hands down. And then the hands go on the lower back. So the palms are facing behind you, hands on the lower back. And we bend the knees again. And then straighten the knees and arch back, grounded through your feet. And then return. And then your palms face your back this time. You lean forward, you slide your hands down the back of the legs. Bend your knees, and you try to grab the toes. If you can't, you grab the back of the legs, and then you let your head hang, and you straighten the knees, and then bend the knees. This is also, you might recognize it as your 6th brocade from the 8 brocades. And then we bring that outside foot in, our knees stay bent, our hands come up to the sides, and then straighten. All right, so that's part one. We're going to repeat that a couple times more. So our knees bend, breathing in, breathing out. And you can do each piece of the form however many times that you want to. I recommend when you're starting out in the morning, say you wake up and you practice this form, maybe just doing each piece of the form 3 times, at least the first 2 pieces here. Do it about 3 times. So we'll do 3 breaths. Centering in the abdomen, just engaging and activating our lower dantian and our lower abdominal breathing. And then we make the fists. And here, as your hands come up, you feel your tailbone sink. It's like the lower part of your spine is extending. And then you push. And then your palms face behind you. Bend the knees and feel rooted through the feet. And then you straighten the knees and gently arch. We turn. Palms face the back now and slide down the back of the legs. Bending the knees. Grab the toes of the back of the legs. And then extend. And then bend the knees. Remember, these are in the first part of the form, focusing on the water energy, grounding through the feet, supporting the wood energy. Now the outside foot comes in, and our hands come up the sides, and then we straighten the knees. All right, so we're going to continue. We're going to keep drawing this water energy up from the earth. Okay, so we'll do once more to each side, or just twice more through the form. So our knees bent, reach the hands out, palms up. Breathing in, and then breathing out. Gazing down to the earth. So you're imagining that energy circulating from up above your head, back down to the earth. And the palms face each other, breathing to the belly. Feel the energy in the hands. Qi accumulating, gathering in the dantian. Then fists to the side. They come up with our knees staying bent. Extend the lower back a bit, dropping the tailbone. And then push. And then the hands go in the back, the palms face behind you, knees bend and then straighten. And return. And then the hands face your back. Slide down the back of the legs, bend the knees, and then straighten. Here's where the inhale happens as you stretch. And then breathe out as you come back up. And then the outside foot comes in, knees stay bent, and you breathe in, and then breathe out. Okay, we'll go through that one once more, and I'll emphasize the breathing more this time. I always like to do the physical posture first and then move to the breath. So I also wanted to remind you, stay with me after we do this form to practice an energy meditation that is really aligned with the intention of the Qigong for Spring Flow. So part of that has to do with the microcosmic orbit, which is the energy rising up the back and then descending down the front. So that's what this first movement also encourages. So as you're feeling the earth, you can imagine that water energy coming up from the soles of the feet, rising all the way up to the top of your head, and then descending down the front. So lots of ways you can visualize the energy, lots of different meridians and energy centers you can focus on. So we're breathing in and then breathing out. And then, of course, we always want to stay rooted in the lower dantian. That's our foundation. So when we're circulating the qi through the microcosmic orbit, up the back and down the front, it's always initiated with a solid foundation in your dantian. As the breath fills the abdomen, it pushes the qi up the back of the spine. And then as you breathe out, the energy falls back into that space in your abdomen. One more breath. Okay, so this time we step to the other side, make fists. So again, we're sinking as the fists come up, just letting that tailbone drop. And then we exhale here. So it was a breath in, and then an exhale. Then the hands to the back, palms facing behind, knees bend, and then arching as you inhale. And then exhaling. It's kind of a long exhale as your hands slide down the back of the legs. And grab the toes. And then an inhale as you stretch. And then exhale, bend the knees. And then we bring the outside foot in. Our knees stay bent. And then we inhale as we raise the hands up. And then exhale as we straighten the knees. All right, so that's the first part. And there's just two pieces to the second part of the Spring Qigong Flow. But they're really good. That first part gets the energy flowing for the kidneys and the water energy. The second part is more to get like the branches of the tree flowing and getting the heart chakra more open. So the way we'll do this, it proceeds right from this last movement. And I'm going to turn the other way here. So you just take a step to your right. Usually I'll take a bigger step, but I don't want to stay in the middle of the camera view here. So you take a step with the right foot, and then you're going to walk your left foot behind you. So that right toe points forward, but the left toe is facing off to the side. And you turn your gaze here. We'll just do the footwork first. Okay? And let's do this to the other side, just so you can get a feel for it. So you're going to let your weight come forward on the front foot. And step out of it with the left foot. And then your right foot is going to come behind and to the left. Okay, and so this is a really good posture, a really good way to activate the meridians in your legs. You know, they don't flow in that linear way. It's very spirally circular flow through the meridians. Let's just step back and forth, just so you can get that footwork. So weight's on the right foot now, and you're going to step your left foot behind you. And just get comfortable with that. And obviously, the less you bend your knees, the less it'll burn. And now, weight on to the front foot, step to the left, and then the right foot goes back. So this is just the footwork for this part. Pretty simple. I'm going to share, though, in the challenge today, a not so simple way to do it, but it's a really effective way to transition from one side to the other. So I'll share that after the form here. So here we were at the center. Our knees were bent, our hands came up, and then we breathe out. And then you're going to step I'll be your mirror here. So you're going to step to your right real quick. And then step your left foot behind you. Okay. So I'm your mirror. And then your arms are going to do this. They're going to swing to your right side. And your left hand's going to be holding your heart. That's a good imagination for that, a good visualization. And it's the simple movement of your arms. You swing the hands down like you're tracing the bottom of the circle, bottom half of the circle, and then you go to the other side. Okay, and then we switch that. So you're going to bring your back foot forward, and then bring the other foot behind this time, and bend the knees, and then your hands start to the other side. So you're holding your heart in your hand, and then you trace the bottom half of that circle. And that hand at your heart goes straight down, like helping that flow of energy from the heart down and from the root up. All right, so let's come back to the center. We'll go through that, and I'll share the breathing with it a little bit. So we'll do that last piece of part one. So the knees are bent, and then we breathe in and breathe out. And we'll step to the right. I'll be your mirror. Then that one foot comes behind. Hands will come so they're facing your right. So left hand at your chest. And then as you swing the hands, you breathe in and then exhale. So you lower the hands, you breathe in and then breathe out. Okay, and then we step to the other side. And again, this one you can do any number of times that you want. Step behind, and then you breathe in and breathe out. You can feel lots of chi in your hands and fingers. Breathe in and breathe out. And this just is a wonderful heart opener. And again, it gets that energy flowing through the arms and your upper body, like the branches of a tree. And then the last part here, of part two, we're going to bring our feet out. Okay, and I'm going to imagine I'm you here. So we're over here. And now you step back, feet square, and we do our vortex motion. So we pull that left hand in, and then we reach our right hand out, and then twist the arm. Okay, it's kind of like you're holding something in your hand, and then you dump it in the waist, and then your hand moves forward. And I'll go through this much slower. Then the palms up, and you circle it back, out, up, and around. All right, now this is your first time seeing this one. I know this looks kind of like, how the heck, what is that? It's called the vortex motion, and we can break it down into lots of little steps here. So first you just reach that left hand out and behind you. So it's whoop, and you turn, look at your hand and then dump. And then your hand, kind of shift your weight to one side and you bring your hand forward. So your palm's facing you. And then you just open the palm up. And this one we always like to pretend we're holding like an apple in the hand. So the palm's up. And you're not going to drop the apple as best you can. Swings above your head and down like a spiral slide. So if you were to just chop this motion up, the second part can be a continuous motion like this, like a spiral slide. You're going up and then down, and your palm stays face up. But there's two parts to it. right? So this first part, reaching out and behind, and then twisting the arm, and then bringing your hand through and forward, and then the palm up, and this is the second part. Drawing the vortex. And then it transitions really easily to the other side. You just kind of pass the energy to the palm, go out and behind, just really simply reaching behind you, dump with a twist, and then shift your weight so that hand and arm can move forward, and then palm up, and you do the second part. And let's do that once more to each side. So we pass the energy, reach out and behind, and twist, and then bring that hand forward, and then face the palm up, draw the spiral slide, and then we pass the energy to the left. This part of the motion is one of the most healing, amazing practices. It's the perfect way that your arms want to move. Once you can get past thinking about the movement and you can do it naturally, it feels so wonderful. So let's just review that second part. So we'll start here where part one ends. Our knees are bent. We'll take a breath in and then exhale. I'll be your mirror here now. So you're going to step out with your right foot a bit, and you're going to bring your left foot behind your right, and then your hands are going to sweep to the right. Left hand holding your heart, and you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Do that once more to each side. Breathe in, breathe out. One more. Okay, and then we're going to switch. So we bring that left leg out, bring the right leg behind the left, and then our hands sweep with a breath in. This does magic for the heart chakra and the middle back or the upper back. Breathing in, breathing out. And let's do one more. Breathing in, breathing out. All right. Then you're going to step that right foot back out. I'm going to turn around. Or like this. And then we're going to shift into the vortex motion. So we just pass the chi to the right hand, bring it behind us, and then twist at the shoulder. You want to make sure that twist comes from the shoulder, and then moves through, and palm up. You draw the vortex. Okay, and we pass the energy to the left hand. Reaching back, twist at the shoulder, and then bring that left hand through. And then palm up, and we pull that hand back. Point the fingers behind, and then swing out and up. And back down to the center. Okay. So that's the second part of the spring Qigong flow. Let's bring our feet together again and just conclude with a couple deep breaths, reaching up and breathing in. And then hands together, circulating the chi, bend the knees. Okay, reaching out, breathe in. And then exhaling, breathing out. One more time, reach the hands out, breathe in. And lower the hands down to the chest, open, and exhale. And let's do one breath to finish. Dantian. Grounding in the abdomen. A couple more. And then bring the hands up the sides and exhale.